How's it going, everybody? Back with another video on the restoration of the Grand National. In this video I'll be assembling the alternator, but this goes for any of the older 80s G-body cars. They've got the same type of alternator, same concept. The parts I'll be working with today, I got the top of the alternator with the stator, whatever you want to call that. Got the coil right here. I've got the fan blade, it's all nicely painted. I've got the bottom of the housing, that's also nicely painted. Spent about 3 days to complete this, everything here. And I've got the module with the electronics, as you can see there. I've got these two little springs. These go behind the magnet associated with the module. I've got the pulley drive right here, the nut, the washer, and this spacer right here. Well, there's two spacers. One goes first and the other will be the fan blade, and everything else goes on top, but I'll show you all that. And I've got the 4 bolts over here that hold the housing together. I got 2 sockets, 1/4 and 11/32 sockets. And I've got this, I've took this out of my welding machine. It's a little bit of the rod, or the reel. This will help me in the process of reinstalling the springs right behind these little magnets. There's actually a little slot right in here. You stick it in, you push the magnets back, put it in, put the whole assembly together, and you pop it out so it can make contact onto the bearing. And I've got a grease gun, which I'll be putting a little bit of grease down in the housing before I assemble it. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as all the parts go. Alright guys, so the first thing we'll be starting with today is the module, followed by this whole setup right here. Let's see, this is a little confusing right here. So what you would do with this, first I'd like to reinstall these springs that go right through here. So you got these magnets, they just pop out. You could just remove them slowly. And yeah, in my application I just took out the springs because I didn't want the springs to just fly out. So the spring goes, one goes in here. Yeah, that's correct. And the other goes at the top. Come on, they'll give me a hard time here. And this is gonna go inside. You'll have to press on it to slip the magnet inside, so I'll get that in right now. Show you guys, and that's where the help of the welding machine comes in, or if you got a reel or a spool of the material, you would push that in. And thankfully I have my helper here with me today. She's going to take a little of that spool and stick it straight through the hole. So if you can take that wire there. If you don't have this, maybe like you could probably use a little bit of copper from any wire you might have. Okay, you know what? Just hold it there. I might have to push it in with a screwdriver. Yeah, this part is a little tricky. I'll grab a screwdriver. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, or what we're gonna do, I'm gonna push this down, I'm gonna push the magnet through, and I'll push it back with the screwdriver, and when it goes back just about this much, you'll stick the wire, stick it straight through the first one, and then I'll work on the second one. This is always a little tough, so. Okay, now push it through. Okay, yeah. Hold. Okay, perfect. Remove it just a little bit. Oh, what just popped out? Okay, wait. Just. Oh, it popped out. Oh. Okay, just oh, I'll just put that in there. This is the part I hate the most with the alternators. Yeah, just don't stick it all the way through, just a little bit, just so it holds the magnet in there. Okay, remove it just a little bit, a little more. Okay, good. Okay, you could probably let go. Just let go. Yeah, see, it's holding it there now. So now, oh, you know what? Just balance it. Yeah. No. Okay, it's gonna have to go through that hole now. Down there, you see that one? Okay, yeah, just pick it up. I'm holding it inside, don't worry. Pull it out a little. You see where it's gotta go, right? Push it in. Push it straight down. Okay. Yeah, yep, okay, keep going. Yeah, don't bend. If you bend, it's gonna go the other way. Oh, no.
You wanna put the screwdriver?
Yeah, just hold the screwdriver, okay. Okay, I'll guide it and you just push it. Okay, push it down. Push it? Okay, good, perfect, okay. Yeah, as you can see in there, it's being held in now by this welding wire. So that's gonna hold that in there. That's gonna help me with the whole assembly process. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this piece right here. As you can see it. Yeah, that'll bolt up to the bottom first, and I'll put the module over it. So as you can see, that's the housing, and this will cover that hole right down here. This one, it will have to line up on top of that stud right there. So as you can see, the stud, that's just gonna go down there. Perfect. Some dust on there. Alright, that's firmly down there. Perfect. That's gonna tight down there. Alright, this can be removed. This little nut right here is gonna hold down the coil, which I'll show you. Now for the module, that's gonna go right up here. Oops. The welding stick is getting a little complicated to work with. Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Gonna go down there. Oh, sorry. Get on there. It's gonna go up there. Oh, oops. Oh, and I just put the socket on it. There we go. Gotta push it down a little bit. Come back. Making sure it's not cross-threading. Okay, it's not cross-threading. Okay, you know what? I might just use the tool on it. Helper, thank you. Just go ahead and tighten that down. Oh, you know what happened to it? It's a little tight because when I painted it, the paint kind of went inside of the threads around there. It's not even down. Oh, there we go. So you've got one here, 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 and there's a nut that comes over here. Hope I didn't lose it. Here it is. This nut right here is gonna come over here. I believe that might be a 10 millimeter nut right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these while I pause the video. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's gonna hold that down. And 5, right back here. Yep, 5 and 6. Okay. Alright, so I do apologize. That nut right there, that's a 11 millimeter work on that socket. So at this point, we can go ahead and install the coil. This bad boy right here, or stator. You guys can correct me in the comments if you may. Well, before I put this in, so you've got these 3 little connectors over here. It's gonna have to go in every one of those down there. So as I'll show, it's gonna go through, and it should grab onto each one of those. If I didn't mess it up. Perfect. Just like that, right down there. And these little nuts right here. This is the 1132 socket that'll work on this. You'll just tighten every one of those down there. Alright, that's the last one. Alright, as you can see, that's all firmly tightened down there. All 3 of them. Oh, it's looking pretty good. Alright, so now we've got the top half. But before I install this, I'm going to put some grease on that shaft right there, on the bearing, before I set it down inside the alternator. It's gonna fit all the way into that hole there. So I'll put some grease so give it some lubrication. So I got the grease gun. I could just put the whole grease gun stick down there. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it with my finger. I've got the rag. Alright. That's just gonna go. I don't want to touch it. I'll put some down there and I'll put some on the shaft itself. Not too much. Yeah, a little bit of grease. Alright. Now where's my assistant with the rag? Alright, thank you. Maybe I could spray some acetone. Roll my hands to get the housing dirty with the fresh paint. That should be good. I could always wipe off the excess grease. Okay, quit. Alright, so I got a little bit of grease down there, as you can see. Oh, that's better. Yep. And then I still put a little bit of grease down there. Not too much, because I've got some in the housing already. Alright, so now I'll have to pause the video for a short second to take a look at the picture to see exactly how which way it was supposed to be lined up. Yeah, this you just have to be careful with. You might want to, if you decide to even take it apart, just gotta take a couple pictures to see which way it's supposed to be aligned over the housing, because it can go like every single way, but it's gonna affect the way it's mounted on the engine. So I'll just go ahead and pause that. Alright, based on the little video I took of it before I disassembled it, before you even do that, just go ahead and make sure everything is like fitted firmly, flush, right down in there. You know, I might just, I'll give it a little tap. I'll tap on it just a little bit so it could go down a little. You don't want to go too hard on it. Not so bad. Let's see what's the whole deal with this. Oh, okay, better. Come on. This side seems to be all right. Yeah. Right. That's better. Well, when I draw everything in, it should pull it in too. Yeah, that's pretty evenly right way around. You know, just to be on the safe side, I'll give it one more tap over here. Yeah. Yeah, better. Yeah. What do you think? Good? Oh, it's still got a little gap over here. You know what, I guess it's fine. I'm not gonna kill it. Alright, why not? Just be on the safe side, right? Where was it over here? Oh, okay, good. Yep, that's good. That's good. Okay, now what did I say it was? You got the module here, and you got the short side on this side, right? Okay. So to reassemble it, or to put the top half on the bottom part of the housing, based on the video as shown, you got the module pointing outwards this way, and so well let's look at this first. Just for the video's sake, I'll call this the long side and the short side. So the short side, based on what I looked at, so if you're looking at it from the back here like that, the short side will be over here, and the long side will be over here, sticking out this way. So, got that, flipping it over. So, just like so, the short side is this way, and the longer side is right here. Right. Alright, this is a little fun part right here. So this is where you're gonna have to really time the this, pushing that in at the same time. So this is gonna have to, the shaft is going right down into that, the base down there. So, you know what, I'll just keep it this way, just so I can remember. So when the shaft reaches at the base of the housing in that little circle, you want to make sure it's in there, and then you could pull this out so the magnets could make contact to each one right here. So I want to be careful to not hit anything. That little turn right there. I think there's another way you can do this too. Oh, you know, that was the other way. Oh, okay, so instead of pulling it out from the top, you can keep pushing it down further. And this is where the difficult part comes in. Okay, you know what? I'll have to pause the video. So what I'm gonna do, I'll pause the video and I'll push it straight through so it can go out through this hole right here. Yeah, you want it there when you're assembling. I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, okay, so I mean, I could probably get away. Okay. No, I won't pause the video, I'll just keep running. Maybe this is long enough where I could just push it through the other end. Oh no, you know what? I'll just get another piece of spool. Forget it, I'll just push it through. Okay guys, I managed to get it through. Just ran too quick. Just put that down. I got it down straight through, so you can push it straight down there. Doesn't really have to be this long, but it helps. Pull it, keep pulling, 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 and that should be good. And now you can go ahead and assemble the top. So now, what did I say it was? If you're looking at it from the back like that, short side is over here. Okay. Alright, so now that that's in, let's see. Looking at it from the back, short side was over here. Okay, the short side gets inserted on this side. Alright, that's the short side over here. And this is a little tricky. You're gonna have to like wiggle it in there for it to fully go into the. Oh, I think that was luck. Alright, so this just seals up right there. As a matter of fact, I'll probably catch the little bolts through it right now. So I'll just put these through just to hold it in place for now. Take one of the bolts and pass it straight through. Hold that. You could turn it by hand, you could turn it with a socket. It's up to you. Some of that. Another one down here. Oh, maybe not down here, up here. Okay, so this might give you a little trouble. You'd have to just play with it a little bit. Come on. It's gonna fit on top of everything. I'll just go ahead and put them all in, so I can remove the wire. I'll just go ahead and put all the bolts in. I'm just catching him in there so it doesn't move around on me. Okay, now you can go ahead and remove that, just pull it straight out. Yep, made contact. Alright, so now I feel like I could just go ahead and tighten up the bolts. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah. I'll just draw them in so I can pull it in. And take the where's that? It's not that, not that, not that. No, it's not that either. So I think that might have been 8. Alright, I think it's the 8. Alright, so also to an 8mm socket. Should work fine. And these bolts back here, you can just draw them in. I'll be doing it in like a crisscross, just so it could be evenly drawn in. So I'll do this side. I haven't fully tightened it. It's just snug right now because I want to tighten up the rest evenly. So I went from here straight across to this one. There we go. Now I can go back at this one and draw it a little more. Right? Now we'll go to this one. I recommend you to not use any power tools on this because the material is very soft and it can be easily stripped. So just do it by hand. Alright, as you can see now, it's been evenly sitting right across. It's evenly across the whole thing. Yes. Of course, I'm gonna draw it up a little more now for you guys. Just see. Alright. Now, you got 2 bearings. You've got this, you got 2 right here. You've got a thin one and you've got a thick one. So the thin one would go on first, like so. Bring this down a little. Just lies right up there. Right down there. Now the blade goes right on top, like so. Come on. Right. There, a little bit of paint on it. Now, this one should come up there. This one goes up here. Another spacer. The thicker one. This should go up here. And then you've got the washer. And then you've got the nut. Now for this, I do recommend the power tool on this one. It made it a whole lot easier rather than trying to hold it, trying to loose that. It's just pain. And I believe this, I'll just get the socket for in the meantime. Alright guys, so as you can see, the nut here, the socket that I have for this, pretty sure it's a little smaller, but well, you can make your judgment based on this. Fortunately, I don't have a size for it, but I've got an inch. It's got like a little bit of play. But it did the job for me by taking it out. But yeah, I guess I'll just use that on the impact really quick to put it in. Let me see if I do have a size for it. I think I found a solution. It's a 24 that fits perfectly with it. See right there. Yep, no play on that. 24. If you got a 24 socket, good for you. I don't. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Once you get that in, and you draw it in all the way, that's all there is to it. Came out pretty well. I'll just touch up that nut with a little bit of black paint. But for the most part, pretty impressed with the results. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope they helped you. And that's all for today. Yeah. If you want to see more content, you can follow me on Instagram at Grand National Resto. That's Grand_National_Resto. I'll put a link in the description.